Well, what I've managed to do is get an AGL additional roof vent, one of these things here, and convert it so it fits in to the side of a standard 6x4 greenhouse, Gardman. This is the original colour, okay, which is just aluminium, but I managed to find some green spray paint. So this is the stuff that I've used. So kind of all surface paint, and it's racing green, which is pretty much close enough for what I need. So I've managed to spray all the pieces up, and with a few modifications I've managed to get it to fit into the greenhouse you can see over there. Right. And I shall show you how I did it. Right, I've managed to push that all the way into this section here, and because this is obviously not the right roof vent for this greenhouse, it's a little bit longer. So what I intend to do first of all is cut along here to make this slightly shorter, and then I'm going to cut a slot just on the inside here. Just cut a very, very thin slot so it slots into, if you can see it, this section. Right, this is the new profile, if you can see it, that I've cut. You can see the slot at the back there, and what I've done basically is remove this piece here as well. Right, as you can see there, I've just pushed this bar into the midsection here, and my new profile piece, as you can just make out there, I've just slotted into here, so it will move at the moment quite freely. Right, make sure that that slots into this piece here, and then you can hopefully push that down until it's in the right position. It will be quite a tight fit because there's a rubber sheath that goes on the outside here, obviously to protect the window, so it might be difficult to get that groove over that. If it's a bit too difficult and you find that it's damaging the rubber, then I would recommend that you file out just a little section on there just to make it easier. Right, it's much easier to see from the outside because the lighting's a bit better. What you can do now is pull this down. Can't really do it one-handed, but you get the gist of it. This is what the crossbar looks like in place. And now I'm going to put the bolt in on this side. Right, now I'm happy that this cross section is lined up. I'm going to secure it in place. Now I can use one of these odd shaped bolts that they've supplied here, and what I've done is I took off the glazing clip from the other side of here. I then removed this bolt and slid one of these things in right up the centre to locate on here. Now they've supplied two of these, obviously one for each side, and because this isn't one of the glazing bars on this side, and I've modified it slightly, and it is quite a snug fit, it's up to you whether you want to put this extra bolt through there. So I think it's probably an M6 hole, but I'll let you know in a second whether it's a 6mm hole or not. Right, what I've done is, it is indeed a 6mm hole that I've drilled, and I've obviously drilled from the top down. Be careful not to collide with either of these edges with the end of the drill, but always remove the extra swarf with a slightly larger drill bit. Just takes the right, that's what it looks like with the bolt in place. Now there's two other little jobs that need doing to make this fit correctly, which is, a second, this underside bolt here needs to be flush with the nut. So either you can file that part down or hacksaw it off, and the same goes for the one in this corner here. Right, as you can see, I've now folded this nut down on the roof panel, so it's now flush, so this will now close properly. Now before this final piece goes back in here, I'm going to fit the automatic vent, and as you can see, here's one I've done earlier. Right, I've just got one of these automatic vent opener things and just taken all the bits out of the box. Now what it says on the instructions, I think, is you put that section loosely into here, which I should do when I put the camera down. That slides up. Obviously this is sprung loaded, so I won't be able to do this with one hand. That goes through the centre up here, piston goes onto that bit, just about make it out there, and then these little screws go in through these holes in the side into this bit. So that's what I'm going to do now. Right, I've just assembled it, and it appears that you can do these screws up at the side tightly, or reasonably tightly, without interfering with this through the centre, so it still moves freely. Right, as per instructions, I've loosely fitted these gripping channels here, and to open this up slightly to make it easier, you turn that clockwise. Right, if you look on the instructions, it says this gripping channel, it looks like it goes into the centre holes here. Now I did try that, and I've gone to the greenhouse and tried to fit it, but in view of the fact that it's an AGL automatic vent opener and an AGL additional roof vent, I found that the setting that it needed to be on was this one. So I'm now going to go back and fit it again. It's quite tricky to put this in. It's not as easy as I thought it would be, to be honest. I think it said start with this section first and then put this one in afterwards. So I actually found that this one is almost flush with the edge. I don't know if the camera can pick this up because of the daylight, but on here this is right up against that edge. As long as it doesn't interfere with this other bar, this crossbar, it should move freely. And this other piece here is right on that edge there. Right, that's what it looks like now. Now I've put this piece back in, and it's just a case of going around putting all the glazing clips back in.